to praise this new Spider-Man movie coming out, Spider-Man Far From Home. We're looking to all the Spider-Man movies and answering the question, did they age well? Sam Raimi directed these 3 movies that, for many, are the holy grail of what superheroes movies should be. And when I'm looking at you, Spider-Man 2, people often remember them as the most amazing superhero movies ever created. So let's see if they are that good. This movie does a really good job of making you feel sorry for Peter. He's a loser, let's agree with that. But I don't think most of that is intentional by Tobey Maguire. That for me is not part of his acting. He actually have this I wanna poop in his hurting face. It seems like he's always mad of existing, and that's something that shows off in all the movie. This first one is about how much a loser he is. He's in love with MJ, he lives with his uncle and aunt, he's extremely unpopular in school, and there is this bully that always kicks his ass. He's a tired A loser. There are some other movies that show us a loser but makes us like them. For example, if you see Charlie from Perks of Being a Wallflower, he's a really strange kid, but you like him. Logan Lerman does such a great job of showing us a really soft kid with social problems that you root for him. You want him to succeed. When he kisses Hermione, you are happy for the kid. But this Peter does not show us that. Tobey's face throughout this whole movie is like he's in constant pain, and I personally can't relate myself to him, even though I also was a strange kid on school. Sometimes in those movies I even root for MJ to end up with Harry because she deserves better, and he's a chill guy. But this movie does something really good. He shows us everything we need to know right in the beginning. Peter's being a loser, Harry being the good looking guy that happens to be son of a millionaire, Norman's project going wrong, and this is all set in, I don't know, 10 minutes of the movie. This makes things so much easier and give us so much time to deal with everything else and developing this plot shown in the beginning. The Norman plot is the most important of this movie, and Willem Dafoe plays his part like a boss. He gives us a comic and exaggerated character, but he's such a good actor that the silly stuff becomes enjoyable.
Hello, my dear.
His first appearance sets how much of a good guy he is. You can see that he likes Peter and cares for him. And right in that scene, we also see how distant Harry's and Norman relationship is. He introduced his father by his full name. We have this great scene that we end up with Peter's being bit by the spider, but before that we also see that even Harry's being rich and pretty, he's also afraid of the bullies of the school. And one thing that gets me is how old all of these guys are. Like, this dude must have 35 years in the scene. Not joking. Also, the spiky hair, what the f— The teacher looks so young that he probably has no authority on the class. I'm pretty sure. This scene where Peter is bit by the spider is really great. This was recorded for real. He painted the spider and recorded biting a slice of flesh and looks amazing. A few next scenes later, we have Uncle Ben struggling trying to find a job since he was fired after 35 years. I gotta say, the writing of this movie is on point. The specific scene gives so much depth into this character and the world. We notice only on those lines the job situation in the early 2000s, how difficult it was for people in the business for basically 3 decades, and how poor people struggle with technology stealing their jobs. We also see his and May relationship, and we care. How not to care for 2 poor elders trying to make a living. But this is also something that bothers me. It seems like every character of this movie is well written but Peter. Everyone is relatable but Peter. Talking about him, we have his transformation that is really well put together, really inspired by the movie The Fly of '87, and at the same time we also have Norman transforming into the villain. So in 15 minutes we already have the hero and the villain form. Good pacing. I love Peter's interaction with Uncle Ben here. They love each other and we can see it. We have this scene that was filmed also for real. Tobey had to do this multiple times, so props to him. Maybe that's the answer why he looks so mad through the whole thing. I would be pissed if Raimi made me repeat it for 100 times.
Hey, you have blue eyes. I didn't notice without your glasses. You just get contacts?
Peter discovering his powers is great as well, but I have a problem with the webs being an organic thing. Gives the power a more gross feeling, more realistic, but the fact that Peter creates his own web fluid is so much better. Why lose this opportunity to show how smart Peter is? We just know how great he is with draws and photos, but this version is not a clever guy at all. Also, if his webs are so strong that even broke this glass, why this Dr. Pepper kept intact? Also, when he hits people, it should probably break some bones as well. Uncle Ben then decides to take Peter to the library. Again, being a really cool old grandpa. Everyone also loves to talk how this scene is fantastic, and it is, but Ben's thinking that Peter is getting older, like Bub's hair, getting a little reckless, like becoming older, but he's trying to tell that being older and changing, it's fine, but he needs to calm down a little, being more responsible. But let me question, in this context, what power is he referring to? He does not know about Peter's power. In his speech, we don't see anything hinting something about it. It's just don't make sense. It's a great line in advice for sure, but I don't get it on the scene. I love this idea that Peter has has of fighting for money so he can buy a car to impress MJ. This is really relatable. Everyone with his age trying to impress the girl from school with his powers would do the same thing. And if you notice, this guy is really trying to kill him. He has a crowbar in his hands. Like, what the f? Now this scene, I don't buy it at all. This is what makes me hate this Peter. He has two beautiful human beings as parent figures. Uncle Ben seems such a humble guy. Aunt May the same. None of them would create someone so selfish that would do such a thing. I can't buy it at all. Peter would not do that if he was raised by those kind of people. Few scenes before, he was lectured of how not to be a jerk. I get that comics Peter is a jerk as well, but in this movie they create this little family as a humble one. Good people. But this Peter is so different from them. Nothing alike how he was raised. And you think after being selfish and losing his uncle, he was gonna get a turn and become humble? Fuck no. He rages and kills the thief. And don't tell me it was an accident. We all know he was going for the kill. The pipe did the work for him, but come on. I don't know if I'm asking too much of a comic movie, but also I don't relate with how Peter suffers for the loss of the only father figure of his life. Toby tried his best, but this time the writers screw him. Why not just show the funeral? They show me one in the end, and I deeply care for Harry's loss. But why not just show this for the main character? And excuse my French, but how the fuck did this dude create this suit? Really, how? This just don't make sense. But okay, I will let this go because he as a Spider-Man hanging around the city is a hell of a good shot. And here I have to talk about him as a Spider-Man. Even behind a mask, I can see Toby's mama shit my pants face. And it bothers me. This Spider-Man has no personality. He's just a guy with a cool suit. He's no fun. He don't joke around. He don't make anything different. He's not a different persona of Peter. It's Peter with a costume. And this is not what Spider-Man is. Spider-Man is Peter being more of a cool guy because now he hides his face and feel that that's the way of let go of his insecurities. But we don't see that here. But we all buy it because it looks cool. But if you think about it, it's not that cool. Peter is also a dick, okay? He knows MJ and Harry has a thing. So back off. Why trying to be this good guy with her and pretending to be friendly? We know what you want. J. Jonah Jameson is just amazing. The writing of the character, the actor, everything. Love every scene that he's in. Remember in the beginning, the first 10 minutes when they developed the Norman plot in the company? Well, that pays off here. 1 hour later, when he tries to kill the board members of his company. Even though this is an extreme reaction, we understand his motivation. All his lines to the executive is like he's being really resentful. That's really good.
That bitch is dead!
Everybody's such a good actor in this movie. Tubby's the one that is not that great. Again, look at this line here. Dude.
In spite of everything you've done for them, eventually they will hate you. Why bother?
Because it's right.
He has no motivation at all. Here things get a little worse. Why does Norman wants to kill innocents? Why he has any problems with people of New York? He has problems with his company and that's understandable, but it seems like out of nowhere he changed his mind and now he hates New Yorkers.
Yo, what happened to Florida?
We took it.
What about Iraq?
We took that shit too.
Now what's up?
We're gonna take New York.
This scene here gives me AMJ vibe. Not Mary Jane, but Michael Jackson. This is a really good moment of the movie. Iconic to be honest. Now we're heading to the end. This scene of Norman as a lady kills me every time. But again, why he wants to kill those people? A baby would have died. Norman was a really good person. He was not a monster. And he had a good reason for killing the company members. Why he become this totally different person? He's not just more evil because of the serum, he's another character. But we forget about this because Willem Dafoe is so good playing it that it becomes enjoyable.
A word to the not-so-wise about your little girlfriend. Do what you need to with her, then broom her fast.
I feel there for MJ. Some scenes later, he cares for his son again. Like, what the f? This scene of Peter using his web to be thrown away, that's fucking great. Really 10 out of 10. The funeral is sad, really sad, and I feel for Harry. Harry's the cool guy here. He loved the girl kicked him, his father gives zero shits to him, Spider-Man killed his father, he saw his dad dead body on this couch, and really seems like his father was took away from him before they could have some understanding. There was some more story left behind this too. The mother that left, the father that feels used by her, and now has to deal with his son by himself while getting cheating on this company as well. This is really deep. And I can't say the same for Peter. In the end, most of the things happened because he was selfish, naive, and a bad person. And even a jerk. So in a scale of 1 to 5, I would give this movie 3. Yeah, you heard me. 3. I end this movie cheering for Harry. And fuck Peter.